Hi everyone, for this week's video we are going to be talking about the build out phase, how we start in possession in our own half, deep in our own half, usually around our goal, and how we progress the ball up the field. So here's the situation. As you can see, our own goalkeeper has the ball here on a goal kick, and the opponent is pressing us pretty high. So as you can see, they're playing 3-2-3, so their front line of pressure is 3 players. How do we break the lines and progress the ball up the field in a controlled, deliberate manner where we keep possession of the ball and we can get our team forward as opposed to just hitting it forward and hoping for the best? The discussion questions this week are: 1, how do we break lines of pressure? 2, how do we create numerical advantages? 3, how can the opponent hurt us? And 4, how can we hurt the opponent? So when we talk about lines of pressure, what does that mean? Well, let's take it one at a time. So their 7, 9, and 11, their front three form their front line of pressure. So we need to be able to break this line and get ahead of the line with the ball. How do we do that? Well, we want to create numerical advantages. So we want to have more players than them. So if we isolate just this area of the field here and we look at their front three, we want to have 4 players at least to have numbers up. So if we take away everyone else, including the fullbacks as well, we've got our center backs, a 6, and our goalkeeper. And here the extra player is the goalkeeper. So the goalkeeper has to be able to be comfortable playing with the ball with their feet. They need to have composure. They need to have good technical ability with both feet to be able to receive and make the right pass. So if we watch here, if we play to the center back and the 6 shows for the ball, the 9 and the 11 close off that passing option. Here, the pass, the extra player that's open is the goalkeeper. So again, goalkeeper needs to be confident, needs to be able to come off his line, play with the ball at their feet, have the confidence to come out, demand the ball. So now 5, if the 7 decides to cover the 5, then the 6 receives wide open and we've broken the line. So again, we always want to create extra players than the opponent, more players than the opponent in certain areas. So here, if they press with 3, we have 4, we should be able to get out of that situation. So now let's expand it, and here we have the opponent's 2 midfield players, and now we've included both of our 6s and our fullbacks. So again, same ideas here. Depending on how they press us, how do we break these 2 lines? So if we take them one at a time, if we play to the center back here, now we're talking about speed of play, we're talking about technical ability. We need to be able to receive and play 1-2 touch, fast speed of play, fast speed of thought, and correct decision making. So here, this is slow on paper, but in the game, this happens quickly, and players need to be able to make decisions quickly, read the game, read and react, and be able to execute technically. So here, the 4 receives. Now we can just play into the 6, which breaks that line, out to the fullback, which breaks the midfield line, and now we're out. So simple pass here. Again, everyone knows these kinds of simple patterns of play, but it's something that we work on in training where in the games they come out naturally. So same setup here, but let's say now the opponent sees what we did the first time and now they decide to block that off. So fine, let's say the 7-11 come narrow, taking away that inside passing lane into the 6. What do? Center backs can come down even further, no problem, and create that passing angle out to the fullback. So we have lots of options. We have different ways of beating presses. Again, if they press with 3, these are just a couple different looks that we can use to beat them. And let's say we've gone short a couple times, we've been playing in between the lines. We also have no problem with players, if the moment makes sense, to skip lines. So what does skipping lines mean? Well, it means we play a little more direct. And instead of breaking each line one by one, we decide to skip. So if we go in here, then we go into the 9, lay off to the 10. Now our fullbacks are away, and we've broken both lines, but we broke both lines in one pass. So if players see that that's on and we can skip, no problem. We can get forward quickly as well. So now let's say that they play this formation, which is 3-3-2, a little different from 3-2-3, different sets of problems. So here, as you can see, our fullbacks are pretty much man marked by their 7 and 11, and they have 2 9s. So again, if they're pressing with 2 in their front line, it makes playing with 4 even easier as we have 2 extra players. So again, we play 4 against 2. Goalkeeper is the extra player to receive. Now the center back can dribble forward. Now we've broken the front line. Okay, now we have midfielders. So now we have 2v1s. So the 7 has a choice to make. Either press to the 5, leave the 3 open, or take on the 3, leave the 5 to dribble. So we have 2v1 out there. The 10 and the 9 interchange, which we want. The 10 and the 9 can be fluid. So here, since the 9 was on the right side, since that was the strong side, and the ball switched over, now the 10 can play as the 9. The 9 can come underneath. It's fine. Different options. We can go into the 10, out to the 3, and now we're going forward. So different situations here, different scenarios. We have lots of different solutions for different looks for the opponent if they press us, and how we can beat their press. So again, these are things that we work on in training all the time. We'll work on different looks, different personnel, but again, the key things here are reading and understanding the game, quick decision making, making the right decision quicker and more often, and being able to have the technical ability to be able to play with confidence under pressure. So that's it for Build Out. I hope you guys enjoyed this one. I will see you next time for another video. Have a great week.